So now that we have our kind of basic zone system set up, now we need to set it up so whenever we open the door, it will activate the zones that are on the other side of the door, or the ones that are linked to this door. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to separate. So in our Nazi Zombie game mode, wait, we've already done that, never mind. In our barricade, whenever we use the door, what we're going to do is go ahead and actually make a call to the game mode that's going to run a function that is going to loop through the zombie spawn points and check and see which one has the corresponding zone that was passed in. And if it has it, add it to the active zombie spawn points. So let's go ahead and set that up. One thing I do want to add is in the spawn points, I want to have a control boolean just in case multiple doors link to that spawn point. I don't want to add them by duplication. So one way we can do that is with a control variable. The other way we can do that, which we will probably end up doing, is actually removing them from zombie spawn points. So that way it does not, we're not continually looping through elements in it that are already being in use, so to speak. But that'll be a little bit later when we start to kind of optimize everything up. So for now, we're just going to stick with a control boolean. So bool b is active, and by default, this is false. And now let's just use a activator function. So void activate, and let's create the definition. Did I spell that right? Yep. All right. So what we're going to do in here is set b is active equals to true. So if it's active, we are not going to add it to active spawn points. Instead, we're just going to ignore it. So now in the barricade, we need to get access to our game mode. So let's wrap this use function in an authority check just to confirm. So if as authority, then we'll run all this. And we need to get our game mode. In order to do that, we need to get access to the world. So get world, get authoritative game mode, then the template, which is a Nazi zombie game mode, like so. And we're going to do if a Nazi zombie game mode GM equals that. So now we need to include the game mode. So let's go ahead and include that at the top of our barricade. And it should clean itself up. Yep, so we are good to go. So now let's make a function on the game mode. Make it public. Let's do void new zone active. And it's going to be uint8 zone number. Let's go ahead and create the definition. However long this is going to decide to take. There we go. So now we have our new zone active. Right here. I'm going to move that to be just below our spawn zombie. Okay. So now let's call it. So GM, what's it called? New zone active. And we're going to pass in our zone. So access zone, which is our variable that we created here. IntelliSense is just being insanely slow right now for me. So we should be good to go. Yeah, I'm trying to think. So we should be fine. So now I'm going to print a log in here just to confirm that it's running. So setting active zone number. And let's see. What are the red squigglies? Screw it. Doesn't matter. So now we need to loop through our current zones. So for a Nazi zombie spawn point side of all zombie spawn points. We're going to check if the zone matches. So if zone number equals spawn point, what's it called? Get zone. And so if that condition's met, then we're going to check if spawn point, let's see. I did not make a getter function for checking if it's active, did I? I did not. So bool is active, and I'm just gonna simply do is active, return a bool. What it's gonna return is turn B is active. So now I have it. So, and spawn point is active. So if it is not active, and at the beginning we're going to do a check. So if spawn point is valid, then we run the rest of the checks. So if spawn point is valid and the zone number matches the zone of the spawn point, and spawn point is not active, then we're going to add it to our spawn or active spawn point array. So active zombie spawn points dot add spawn point. Then we're going to do spawn point. We're going to activate it. And later on, I'm going to make a reminder. Remove, let's see, spawn point from the zombie spawn points array, like so. All right, so we are good to go there. And we can actually do a quick little improvement. So in begin play, we add the spawn points just no matter what, if as long as they're valid, to our zombie spawn points array. What we're going to do is we're going to copy this and get rid of it. We're going to simply add it inside our if statement. So the reason behind this is if there is no spawn points, okay, let me start from the start. So if the spawn point has a linked barricade, meaning it's not going to be a default spawn point that's going to be spawning immediately on round one, then we are going to go ahead and add it to our active spawn points, because that indicates that the spawn point that we're on is a default one. So we want to go ahead and immediately add it, so that way we're good to go. Otherwise, we're going to add it to zombie spawn points so that it can be added later on in case, someone opens a door that is linked to that spawn point. Make sure all that's set and compile. And that's essentially kind of what we're going to be doing. We're going to remove, when we add a new spawn point, we're going to be removing it from zombie spawn points. So that way it keeps that array small, and it's a lot less that we'll have to loop through as time goes on and more doors get opened. So with any luck, we should be seeing setting actives spawn zone being created. So let's see, issue on line 42. What are you complaining about still? Should be including a barricade at the top, which we are not, so that is probably why. I really thought I was, unless I accidentally removed it for some reason. But now let's go ahead and compile, and it should be fine. Okay, so that was why. I guess for some reason I may have accidentally removed it. So with any luck, we should be seeing setting active zone, and then the zone of the door. This has a zone of 1. Let's test it. Press F. Setting active zone, 1. And now a zombie spawns over there. So let's do a quick test. Gonna launch it immediately. We have 1 there, 1 there, there, 1 there, and 1 there. So for some reason it's only selecting from those. Not sure if this is just a fluke or not. Okay, so that just happened to be one of those things where it just randomly happened to select that side, which I guess it makes sense since it's 50-50. Yeah, so that seems to just be the case. So now we have a working kind of spawn zone. So I'm gonna let 3 spawn here, and open it, and now they spawn pretty much in both sides. So we now have a working zone system. So no matter what, we want to link it zone to any door. Pretty much all we have to do, select it, and change switch barricade. So I want to give this one a name of first door, like so. And heck, I'll duplicate it, call it this one second door. If I want to change this one to only be active when this door is open, all I do is select second door. And that's literally it. So we have a functional zone system. So that is one important thing that we have out of the way, and that will become very useful in setting up our map when we set up our spawning. So now that that's dealt with, I will see you in the next one.